How's it going, everyone? Welcome to week 4 of the course. Sorry for getting the material up a day late. It was a crazy weekend in terms of some illness, along with just general schedule issues. More of the schedule issues than the illness, but we're going to get caught up for the week here quickly. I think the number one thing that we should focus on is we have about 20 people enrolled in the class, and we only have about 14 people that have set up a Mastering Engineering account. So kind of to recap what I talked about in last week's intro video, the way that you're going to do that is you're going to go to our Canvas page and actually click on this Alamo Books Plus digital course material. I'm going to go into the student view just so you can kind of see what it will look like on your perspective. But if you click on this link, you'll notice that you will see a couple options to navigate to our course textbook. You can either read the book directly here, or you can click on this Launch Courseware button. So this is what you're going to have to do to access both the homework assignments for the course, along with the exams and the practice exam, which we'll actually get to this week. And if you notice here, if you click on the Open My Lab and Mastering Engineering tab, you'll have an option to actually set up a course. And of course, I'm signed into my course now. I've already set that up, but if you don't have a Mastering Engineering account for Pearson, or in general a Pearson account, it will prompt you to set that up and walk through. But you should find that it's pretty self-explanatory. But if you have any questions, I'm happy to meet with you via Zoom and help you actually go through that process. So I'm going to leave the student view now, and we'll look at the course checklist for this week just to kind of see where we'll be at from a scheduling perspective. So if you remember the schedule that I put up at the beginning of the semester, originally we thought we'd actually be kind of moving towards exam 1, which will cover chapters 1 through 3, with a heavy emphasis on chapters 2 and 3, since chapter 1 is really more about just setting the theoretical framework for our course. And if you notice, we're kind of a little bit on track there, believe it or not, given the hard start that we had with the initial homework. So what you're going to be doing this week is watching 2 lectures. Ideally, if you can, watch them by Wednesday and Friday. The first lecture, I'm just going to do some additional chapter 3 homework examples. Thinking about it, just based upon a lot of you that I've met or exchanged emails with, I might do some chapter 2 examples there as well. And then I'm actually going to post a new homework in Mastering Engineering covering chapter 3. That will be due on Sunday evening. If you remember, we already did a little bit of a setup for a homework in chapter 3, kind of giving you some experience just drawing free body diagrams within that software. And it's a little bit more tricky than drawing them by hand. I kind of wish when we do this content that we could be in person, because it'd be a lot easier to walk around and see each of you actually drawing your free body diagrams. For the second lecture of the week, we're going to do an exam 1 review. I'll actually post a practice exam in Mastering Engineering as well. I'll remind you of this again, but the practice exams in this course generally won't be graded. What they're intended to do is to give you a feel of how the exams will look, both from a timing along with a number, I guess timing is the same thing, number of questions perspective. So the exams, you will take them kind of at your own convenience over a fixed time interval. I'll talk about that in a little more detail next week, but it's generally going to be typically I arrange it from like Thursday through Saturday. That way the week people and the weekend people all have access. I might actually make it open the entire week, because that is one of the complaints that I got last year, is everyone's working on the course material at different times. So just leaving it open for a week tends to work. So, and I'm not committing to anything there yet, but over an interval of time, you're going to be able to log in, access your exam. You'll take the exam. You'll only have a fixed amount of time. It'll generally be 2 hours, and there will be 4 or 5 problems, and you must complete in one sitting within that time block. So it's good practice, even though you're working the homework problems in Mastering Engineering now, to have some experience of what it feels like to do things in a timed environment. And for the exam review lecture, I'll actually go through the solution of each of those problems. So hopefully that'll be helpful to you. So that's what we're going to be doing this week. First part of the week is kind of just some more examples on chapter 3. We'll put up the homework. That'll be due on Sunday evening. And the second lecture of the week, we'll actually look at the exam 1 review. And we'll have a practice exam 1 in my lab, which will be available. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm meeting one of you tomorrow in person. I have another person coming to Zoom a little bit later. We've had some good interactions, but if a lot of you are around SAC, we definitely could look at actually doing like an in-person review session as well. Happy to do it, and even happy to do it in the evening or on weekends if it's better for you. I am here to help, and I know that when you're taking a class in an online asynchronous environment, it just feels like you're there doing things all on your own. But I know it's tough, but you're definitely not. I am happy to meet with you and even do like an in-person review session if you think it would be helpful. So have a good week, and I'll talk to you soon. And again, please, if you haven't accessed and registered Mastering Engineering, please do so as soon as possible, because you need to start getting the homework in. Chapter 2 homework was technically due last on Sunday evening. And then in addition, we had a first part of chapter 3 homework, which was also due. and your Chapter 3 homework will be due at the end of the week. So if you're just getting on Mastering Engineering on Wednesday, you're going to have a big hole to dig out of in terms of catching up on the 3 homework assignments. So if I can help at all, let me know, and I'll talk to you soon.